Alright everyone, so yesterday I produced a video about getting started with the Optavia diet program. I was looking for a way to lose my quarantine 15. I happened to meet someone on Facebook that is really just a motivating person. I mentioned in my last video that, they have a wonderful group of accountability partners, and I think that's lovely. So I went ahead and decided to get started without regard to exactly what the packaged food was made of or anything like that. But I want to get an honest assessment based on what knowledge I have and the research that I'm going to try and do on some of these packages. So the first thing that I'm going to look at, and I know this is always reversed for you guys. Unfortunately, I have no idea how to fix that. But this is the Frosted Cinnamon Spice Crisp. So I looked at the ingredients on this, and I have to be honest, there's some things in here that don't excite me, which basically just tells me that I can lose the weight on this program, and then I need to go back into a really more healthy maintenance program for me long term. And that's not to say that the product is bad. I'm not trying to say that. And I actually, one of the things that I will say is that if you're overweight, I don't care how you lose weight. Losing weight is probably, especially if you're significantly overweight, losing weight is the best thing that you can do for your body. I don't care how you achieve it. That's not exactly true. But if you eat food and exercise, that's going to be better for you than concerning yourself about what supplement form and whether it's, natural, organic, or synthetic, versus just getting some food in you that is relatively balanced and getting some exercise. So there are some things in here that for me, I'm not super excited about. The first one is the use of soy protein. As a man, I don't want to be putting anything full of estrogen inside of my body. Okay, in this product, the first ingredient is soy protein isolate. Before we get into any sort of argument about this, I've done the research. I've determined that it actually does affect your hormone levels if you eat a lot of it. So, I don't eat soy. I'm not even sure it's food, to be honest with you. So I feel the same way about corn. So that's just me. I'm not trying to argue with anybody. That's just how I feel about it. I also noticed that they're using fractionated palm kernel oil. So this basically is the replacement for the old cheap trans fats that we all know are bad for us. Food manufacturers like it because it's cheap, it's readily available, it has a long shelf life, and it's pretty stable. It's at room temperature, it remains fairly solid. We know that it's loaded with saturated fat, which is not necessarily bad. For instance, coconut oil has a lot of saturated fat in it. But contrary to what people my age learned as kids, not all saturated fats are bad for you. It's a cheap ingredient, and it doesn't have the same health benefits as a coconut oil or an avocado oil or, some of the better oils that are out there. So I'm not super excited about that. The other thing that I noticed that are in here, they use stevia, which I think in 2020 we really should be using monk fruit, but that's just me. I think it's a better, healthier sweetener. So there's that. And the other thing, and there's a lot of debate on this next thing I'm going to say. I actually don't know that synthetic vitamins are better for you than natural vitamins or anything like that. I think they certainly have their place. They're definitely cheaper. Okay, the synthetic forms of your vitamins are going to be cheaper. So, that thing that you get at Kirkland is, your Kirkland signature vitamins. Those are definitely synthetic. They're cheap to make. They're easy to make. You don't have to go through a whole process of extraction and things like that you have to do for your natural form vitamins. And of course, in terms of flavoring, it's also a lot easier. But I will say for certain that the vitamins that are in here mostly are synthetic. Pretty much if it ends in ATE or IDE, it's synthetic. So if you look at the minerals, you see potassium phosphate, calcium carbonate, potassium lactate, magnesium oxide, right? Ferrous sulfate, that's iron, vitamin E acetate, zinc sulfate, right? These are not super high quality forms of the vitamins, and they're, from what I know, they're also not that absorbable, right? Like you really want something that's amino acid chelate, that, has something that helps you digest and absorb it. I'm thinking that the reason why this works, and I haven't read the book, so, obviously I'm going to read the book and I'm going to get kind of more information on this, and I will update my videos to have that information. But I'm thinking because every product has a patented form of a probiotic, that the thought is that your digestive system should be more efficient and cleaned out, and so your absorbability factor, if your digestion is healthy and your gut flora is healthy, that these forms of things will be easier for your body to digest. Now, and the other part is, of course, you're only eating, maybe 600 calories of this stuff a day, so you're not ingesting large amounts of it. So there's also that to look at. So there's a bunch of things that, obviously putting together a healthy diet, balanced diet, there's a lot of components that go into that. But, just at first glance, there are some things that I think I would be willing to pay more money to get a different set of ingredients. Let me put it to you that way. But let's see how it goes. Obviously, it depends on how you feel. If you're losing weight, if you go to your doctor, I would highly recommend getting a blood panel, a very comprehensive blood panel, including hormones, right? So get your cholesterol, get your triglycerides, get all of those things done before you get started, and then every 2 or 3 months, get another one, right? They're available. The test kits are available, $100, $150, right, for these panels. And if you have insurance, I think it'll cover it once a year. So absolutely worth getting done, and then track. Especially, if you have 30 pounds to lose or more, again, using these products to get yourself to a healthier weight is 100%, I guarantee you, your health will improve. Overall, your blood work, all of it will improve. I know that from experience. But I think for like long-term sustainability, obviously I'm not going to stay on packaged food for the rest of my life. The maintenance program on this does increase the amount of, healthy solid food that you have to make versus the package. So I like that aspect of it. And as I learn more, I'll produce the information. But that's just my kind of assessment of the ingredients that I've looked at so far, and we'll see how it goes. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye, everybody.